Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to transform some leftover candied yams into this delicious candied yam pound cake. This is full of all the candied yam flavors. There's even a nice glaze that is pretty much like the syrup you would have in candied yams. This pound cake is so moist and delicious and super easy to make. Now here I have some leftover candied yams and I warmed them up because I want to drain off that butter and sugar and cinnamon that is on the candied yams. We're going to save that and put that to the side. Next, I am going to go in and just mash up these candied yams because I am looking for about 2 cups of mashed sweet potatoes. Now, I needed to add a little bit of leftover sweet potato puree just to make it 2 cups. But of course, when you are doing this, you just make sure you have 2 cups of leftover sweet potatoes mashed up from your Soul Food Sunday dinner. Okay, save those yams and make this. In my mixer, I'm going to throw in 1 stick of softened butter and 8 ounces of cream cheese. Then I'm putting in 1.5 cups each of brown sugar and white sugar, and I am going to beat this until it is nice and fluffy. That's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes, and then periodically you can scrape down the side of the bowl. While that is beating, I'm going to put together my dry mixture. I have 3 cups of flour. I weighed this out, but of course you could also sift the flour and then scoop it in to your measuring cup. I am going to be putting in baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, and salt. I'm going to mix this together until it is well combined, and I like to grate in some fresh nutmeg. I think this is a really creative way to use up some leftovers. Let me know if you like this idea and if you're going to be trying this pound cake, because just the layers of flavor, it's just really good in this cake, y'all. You got to try this, and it's even better the next day. Now, my cream cheese, butter, and sugar have beat together well, and now I'm going to be putting in 4 eggs. I like to put in 1 egg at a time and allow it to beat for about 10 seconds after every egg to make sure it's well combined. I'm then going to put in my 2 cups of mashed candied yams, and I am going to beat this until it is well combined. That's going to take about 30 seconds. Now you're going to see that a little bit of separation is going to occur. You're just going to look a little bit curdled. Don't worry about that. When you start adding in your flour mixture, it's not going to be a problem. I like to do the flour mixture in 2 parts. First, I put in about 1.5 cups of the flour mixture, and I like to beat this on low. You definitely don't want to beat it too fast at this point, because if you over mix this, your cake is going to become dry. That gluten is going to form and your cake won't come out right. I'm now adding in a tablespoon of buttermilk, a tablespoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon of rum extract. Rum is going to really complement the flavor of the candied yams here, and it's going to taste delicious. It's really going to make those warm spices like the cinnamon and the nutmeg really pop. For the last mix around, I just like to do it with my spatula because I really don't want to overmix. Your batter should be thick, okay? And actually, it tastes really good. All right. Now I am going to grease my pound cake pan, and y'all, if you've been watching my pound cake videos, you know that my mama had a bundt pan that she didn't give it to me. Technically, I took it from the house, okay, and I had been using it. And finally, she said she wanted it back, so I had to buy a brand new bundt pan, y'all. And so I am going to grease this bundt pan, and then I am going to add flour. And I just felt like my cake didn't come out the same because I wasn't using my mama bundt pan. I feel like I need to actually go back and get it, okay? Should I go back and get it from my mama? What y'all think, okay? I'm now going to add all of my batter into my greased bundt pan, and I'm going to make sure that there's no air pockets in here. So I'm going to tap it down a little bit. You're also going to see me smooth out the top because I want to make sure that this cake bakes correctly. I've had my oven heated to 350 degrees. I'm going to cook this cake anywhere from 70 to 90 minutes. You're going to need to check it at 70 minutes with a toothpick to make sure that it comes out clean. If it gets too brown on the top, you can cover it with foil if it needs to continue cooking and allow it to go the rest of the time. I allowed this cake to rest for about 5 minutes, and then I inverted it out onto a plate. Now, this is where you're going to be using those juices from the candied yams, all right? It doesn't matter if it has little pieces of potato in there. I'm going to add those juices. Then I'm going to put in some more butter and a little bit of rum. Yeah, this ain't rum extract. I'm adding the rum. Okay. And then I'm going to add some powdered sugar and a little bit of evaporated milk. That is really going to make this like a creamy frosting type situation, or should I really say glaze situation, that mimics the taste of the syrup that you get in candied yams, but it has a little bit more body because you have the powdered sugar. I cooked this on a medium low temperature for about 5 minutes total until I got a consistency that looked like that. Now I want some of this glaze to really absorb and soak into this cake, baby. You want to get deep in there. So I like to take a toothpick and just poke it around the cake, and I find that in those spots, some of the glaze will really just seep down. Once you pour this glaze on, you're going to need to tame the greedy spirit. Okay, tame that greedy spirit. Let this cake sit for at least 5 hours. I'm telling you, because really all the flavors will come together. It's going to be super moist, and that glaze is really just going to seep into that cake, and you will have a delicious candied yam pound cake. Let me know if you're going to try this and if there's anything you would change about this recipe. You guys know I love you and Jesus loves you, and I'll see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye and God bless.